My grandkids ignored me for their phones, so I taught them a lesson they will never forget. I set down the roast chicken in the center of the table, steam rising like prayers nobody was listening to. My hands trembled slightly as I placed the mashed potatoes beside it. Not from age. From something else. Something that had been building inside me for months. "Dinner's ready," I said softly. Nobody looked up. Chloe sat to my left, her 13-year-old face glowing blue from her phone screen. Her thumbs moved like hummingbird wings. Tyler was 16, earbuds in, watching something that made him smile at a screen instead of at me. And little Emma, just 9 years old, was already learning from her older siblings. Her tablet showed some cartoon I'd never heard of. My son Marcus sat at the head of the table, his own phone in hand, typing work emails. His wife Jennifer was scrolling, always scrolling. "Please," I said, louder this time. "Put the phones away. I made your favorite." "In a sec, Grandma," Chloe muttered. Her eyes never left the screen. I had flown 600 miles to see them. I came every 3 months now since my husband Harold died 2 years ago. The house felt different each time. Quieter, even though everyone was always here. The walls seemed to absorb the silence, like a sponge. I sat down in my chair. The wooden one that creaked. Harold used to sit here when we visited. He would tell jokes that made the kids laugh until milk came out of their noses. Now his chair sat empty in the corner, and I sat in this one. Alone. Always alone. "I was thinking," I began, my voice catching slightly, "maybe tomorrow we could go to the park? Like we used to? Remember when we'd feed the ducks and—" "Can't tomorrow, Mom," Marcus interrupted, not looking up. "The kids have stuff." "What stuff?" "Just stuff."
School.
"Activities." I looked at the food getting cold. At the empty chairs around the full table. At the family that was here but wasn't really here at all. Something inside me cracked. Not broke.
Cracked.
Like ice before it shatters. I had spent 47 years raising Marcus. I had rocked him through fevers and driven him to baseball practice and helped him with algebra homework at midnight. I had held his hand when his father died. And now I couldn't even get him to look at me during dinner. The kids kept scrolling. Marcus kept typing. Jennifer kept watching something that made her lips move silently. I folded my napkin carefully and placed it beside my untouched plate. "Excuse me," I whispered. Nobody noticed me leave. I sat on the edge of the guest bed, staring at my own phone. The irony wasn't lost on me. But I wasn't scrolling mindlessly. I was searching, planning. My fingers moved with purpose across the keys. The clock on the nightstand glowed 11:47 p.m. The house had finally gone quiet an hour ago. I typed, "How to teach ungrateful grandchildren a lesson." The results were useless. Articles about gentle communication. Parenting blogs about screen time limits. Nothing with teeth. Nothing that would actually wake them up from this digital coma they were all trapped in. I deleted the search and tried again. How to make someone appreciate what they have. Better. Stories appeared. One caught my eye. A father who pretended to lose everything to teach his spoiled son gratitude. A mother who staged her own disappearance to show her family what life would be like without her. My heart beat faster. Not from fear. From possibility. Harold's voice echoed in my memory. We were sitting on our porch swing, 3 summers before he died. "Margaret," he had said, watching the sunset paint the sky orange, "the worst thing we can do for the people we love is let them take us for granted. Even if teaching them hurts us both." I had asked him what he meant. He had smiled that crooked smile of his. Sometimes, love has to wear a scary mask to get someone's attention. I hadn't understood then. But I understood now. I opened my suitcase and pulled out the letter I had written on the plane. The one I hadn't planned to use. My hands shook as I unfolded it. The words I'd written looked different now. More necessary. "Dear family, by the time you read this, I'll be gone."
No.
That was too much. Too cruel. I crumpled it and started again. The new plan formed in my mind like storm clouds gathering. Dark but purposeful. I would need 3 days. Maybe 4. I would need to be convincing. And I would need to be strong enough to see it through, even when they cried. Especially when they cried. Because sometimes the deepest love looks the most like cruelty. I thought of Harold again. How toward the end, when the cancer was eating him alive, he had refused to let the kids see him weak. Let them remember me strong, he had said. That's my gift to them. This would be my gift. Different. Harder. But necessary. I pulled out my laptop and began typing a different kind of letter. One that would crack their hearts open just enough to let the light back in. Outside, an owl called into the November darkness. Inside, I became someone I had never been before. A teacher of the hardest lesson. I woke at 5:30, before the sun. My suitcase was already packed. It had been packed since midnight, hidden in the closet where nobody would think to look. I moved through the dark kitchen like a ghost. Made coffee. Poured it into Harold's old travel mug. The one that said, "World's Best Grandpa." The kids had given it to him 6 Christmases ago, when they still looked up from their lives long enough to notice other people. I left the letter on the kitchen table, propped against the sugar bowl where Marcus would see it first. He always came down earliest, always grabbed coffee before anyone else stirred. The letter said, "Dear family, I need to tell you something I should have said months ago. I'm not doing well. The doctors found something. I didn't want to worry you during my visit, but I can't pretend anymore. I've gone somewhere quiet to think.
To figure out what comes next.
I need a few days alone. Please don't try to find me. I'll call when I'm ready. I love you more than you know. Mom/Grandma Margaret." It was vague enough to terrify, specific enough to believe. My hands trembled as I set it down. This was the point of no return. I had reserved a room at a small bed and breakfast 40 miles away. A place with no internet in the rooms, just books and silence and a view of the mountains. The owner, a kind woman named Ruth, had promised to hold all my calls and tell anyone who asked that she hadn't seen me. "You doing okay, honey?" Ruth had asked on the phone yesterday, her voice thick with concern. "I'm teaching my family how to miss me," I had said, "before it's too late for them to learn." Ruth had been quiet for a long moment. Then, "My daughter didn't talk to me for 2 years. Not until I ended up in the hospital. She cried and said she was sorry, but those 2 years are gone forever. You're braver than I was." I picked up my suitcase. Took one last look at the kitchen where I'd made 3 days of meals that barely got eaten. At the living room where I'd tried to start conversations that died in one-word answers. At the family photos on the wall, where everyone was smiling at cameras instead of each other. The front door opened silently. I had oiled the hinges last night. The November air bit at my face as I walked to my rental car. The sun was just starting to paint the sky pink. It looked like a bruise. Beautiful and painful. I put the car in neutral and let it roll down the driveway before starting the engine. Old habit from when Marcus was a baby and I didn't want to wake him. Some habits you never lose. I drove past the park where we used to feed ducks. Past the ice cream shop where Tyler once laughed so hard he fell off his chair. Past the library where Chloe used to beg for one more book, just one more. Past the memories that nobody else seemed to remember anymore. My phone sat silent in my purse. I had turned off the location services. Deleted the tracking apps Marcus had installed for my safety. I wasn't hiding from danger. I was hiding to become the danger they needed to wake up. Marcus found the letter at 6:47 a.m. I know because he called 37 times in the next 10 minutes. I let every call go to voicemail. I was sitting in Ruth's breakfast room, eating eggs I couldn't taste, when my phone started vibrating like an angry hornet. I watched Marcus's name flash on the screen. Then Jennifer's. Then Marcus again. 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 Ruth looked at me over her coffee cup. Her eyes were sad but understanding. "It's starting," I said. She nodded. The hardest part of loving someone is letting them feel what life is like without you. I listened to the first voicemail on speaker. Marcus's voice was tight, controlled.
"Mom, what is this? Call me back.
Now." The second one, 3 minutes later, was different.
Higher. Scared.
"Mom, this isn't funny. What doctors? What are you talking about? Where are you?" The third one broke something in my chest.
Please, Mom.
Please just tell me you're okay. I set the phone face down on the table. Emma's voice was next. Grandma? Daddy's crying. He's really crying. Are you sick? Are you going to die like Grandpa? Please come back. I closed my eyes.
Breathed.
This was necessary. This was necessary. This was necessary. The calls kept coming.
Chloe. Tyler.
Jennifer. Marcus. 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 By noon, I had 83 missed calls and 42 text messages. Where are you? Mom, please answer. What hospital? I'll come right now. This isn't funny anymore. I'm calling the police. Why are you doing this? That last one was from Tyler. Why was I doing this? Because 3 days ago, I had asked him about school and he had said fine, without looking up from his phone. Because I had asked what he wanted for his birthday and he had shrugged. Because I had told him I loved him and he had said yeah like I was a notification he was dismissing. Because my grandson didn't know my middle name or my favorite color or what I dreamed about at night. Because I had become furniture in their house. A thing that cooked meals and smiled and didn't require maintenance. I texted back one message to Marcus. I'm safe. I need time. Don't look for me. 3 dots appeared immediately. Disappeared. Appeared again. Mom, what did the doctor say? I turned off my phone. Ruth brought me tea. How long you planning to stay disappeared? Until they remember I'm alive, I said. I turned my phone back on after 2 days. The voicemails had multiplied like rabbits. 147 of them. I listened to them chronologically, watching my family fall apart in real time. Day 1 had been panic, confusion, anger. Day 2 was different. Marcus's voice at 3 a.m., raw from crying. I called every hospital in 3 states. Nobody has you. Mom, I can't breathe right. Jennifer keeps asking me what's wrong and I don't know what to tell her. I don't know what to tell the kids. Chloe hasn't eaten. Tyler punched a wall. Emma sleeps in our bed now because she keeps having nightmares about you. My hands shook holding the phone. Next message. Jennifer. Margaret, I know you and I aren't. We've never been as close as you and Marcus. But he's falling apart. He took off work. He just sits at the kitchen table staring at your letter. Please. Even if you're angry at us, please just tell us you're alive. Tyler's voice, thick and wet. Grandma, I'm sorry I didn't talk to you at dinner. I was watching stupid videos. They don't even matter. I can't even remember what they were about. Please don't die without letting me say sorry. Chloe, I went through our text messages. The last thing I sent you was K, when you asked if I was excited for your visit. Just the letter K. That's all. And now I can't stop thinking about what if that's the last thing you remember from me? Just K? Like you didn't matter? But you do matter, Grandma. You matter so much and I didn't know how to show it, and now maybe it's too late, and… The message cut off in sobs. Emma's voice was the one that almost broke me. Grandma, I drew you a picture. It's us at the park with the ducks. Remember the ducks? I'm going to keep it in my room so when you come back I can give it to you. You're coming back, right? Daddy says you are, but his face looks like when Grandpa died. Please don't be dead, Grandma. I'll put my tablet away forever. I promise. Just please don't be dead. I set the phone down carefully on Ruth's porch railing. My hands were shaking so hard I nearly dropped it. Ruth sat beside me in the other rocking chair. You know what's happening, don't you? What? They're feeling what you've been feeling. That absence. That emptiness. The shape of a person who should be there, but isn't. I wiped my eyes. I've been gone for years. They're just noticing now. Yes, Ruth said softly. That's exactly the point. A new text came through. From Marcus. I found your calendar. You wrote Em's birthday dinner and Tyler's game and Chloe's recital and we didn't. Mom, we didn't tell you when any of those things were. We didn't invite you. You kept track, and we didn't even tell you. What kind of son am I? What kind of family are we? Another text. The kids are going through photo albums. Real ones. The ones you made before everything went digital. Tyler found one from when he was 6.
You taught him to ride a bike.
He doesn't remember. He asked me if that really happened. His own grandmother taught him to ride a bike, and he doesn't remember. Another. Chloe found a recipe in your handwriting. Your chocolate chip cookies. The ones you always made. She's crying because she can't remember the last time she actually tasted them. She was too busy on her phone to eat them. I stood up. The rocking chair swung empty behind me. I need to stay one more day, I told Ruth.
Why?
Because Marcus hasn't said the thing he needs to say yet. What thing? That he misses me. Not that he's scared. Not that he's sorry. That he actually misses me. That his life has a hole in it where I used to be. Ruth nodded slowly. And if he doesn't say it? I looked out at the mountains, purple in the fading light. Then I stay another day. The call came at midnight on day 3. I had been asleep, dreaming of Harold. In the dream, he was young again, and we were dancing in our kitchen to no music. My phone lit up the dark room. Marcus's name. I almost didn't answer, but something in my chest pulled tight. Hello. Silence. Heavy breathing. Then, Mom. His voice was destroyed. Scraped raw. Empty. Marcus. I sat in your chair tonight. The one you always sit in. The creaky one. He made a sound that might have been a laugh or might have been a sob. I never noticed before how you can see everyone from that chair. The whole kitchen table. The whole living room. You can see everyone but nobody's looking at you. I gripped the phone tighter. I watched them tonight. Really watched them. Tyler on his phone. Chloe on hers. Emma on her tablet. Jennifer scrolling. And me?
God, Mom, me too.
I do it too. We're all just staring at screens while you're staring at us. Marcus.
No.
Let me finish. I need to finish. His breath hitched. You know what I realized? I don't know your favorite song. I don't know if you sleep well at night. I don't know if you have friends or hobbies or dreams. I don't know anything about your life because I never asked. I never asked, Mom. Tears were running down my face. Hot and fast. I know everything about Dad, Marcus continued. Everything. Because I paid attention when I was a kid. Because back then I looked up. I saw him. But you? You've just always been there. Constant. Like the sun. And I forgot that even the sun can burn out. Marcus, I'm not. Are you dying? His voice cracked completely. Tell me the truth. Are you really sick? This was the moment. The hinge point. Where I either told the truth and maybe destroyed his trust forever, or kept lying and let the lesson sink deeper. I thought of Harold.
Of what he would say.
I'm dying the way anyone dies who's forgotten, I said slowly. A little bit every day. Every dinner where nobody looks at me. Every visit where I'm in a room, but not really there. That kind of dying is slow, Marcus. But it's real. So you're not. There's no doctors? There's no tumor, I said. But there is something eating away at me. Loneliness. Invisibility. The feeling of being loved but not seen. Silence stretched between us like taffy. Then, where are you? 40 miles away. At a bed and breakfast called Mountain View. You've been 40 miles away this whole time? Yes. We called hospitals in 3 states. We filed a missing persons report. We've been losing our minds, and you've been 40 miles away. Yes. Why? The word came out broken. Why would you do this to us? Because you were doing it to me first, I said. Just slower. Quieter. In ways that didn't look like cruelty but felt like it. Marcus made a sound I'd never heard from him before. A sound that came from the deepest part of his chest. I'm coming to get you, he said. Right now. Tonight.
No.
Mom. Tomorrow morning. 9 o'clock. Come alone. We need to talk. Really talk. The way we haven't talked in years. I can't wait until morning. I need to see you. I need to know you're real. Marcus. I made my voice firm. The mom voice. The one that used to make him stop whatever he was doing and listen. Tomorrow. 9 o'clock. Don't bring the kids. Don't bring Jennifer. Just you. But This is the last part of the lesson, son. Learning to wait. Learning to sit with the feeling. If you can't give me 12 hours of missing me, how can I believe anything will be different when I come home? The line went so quiet I thought he'd hung up. Then, I miss you, Mom. I miss you so much it feels like something's carved out of my chest. Is that what you needed to hear? My tears came harder. Yes. Okay. His voice was small.
Young.
9 o'clock. I'll be there. Marcus. Yeah, I love you. I've always loved you. Even when I was invisible. I know, he whispered. I just forgot to show it. But I won't forget again. I promise. I promise, Mom. After he hung up, I sat in the dark for a long time. Ruth knocked softly on my door. You okay? It worked, I said. The lesson worked, but why does it hurt so much? Ruth sat on the edge of my bed. Because real teaching always costs something. The teacher bleeds too. Outside, the mountains stood silent in the moonlight, waiting for morning, waiting for the moment when broken things start to mend. Marcus arrived at 8:45. I watched his truck pull into the gravel lot 15 minutes early, like he couldn't wait even one extra second. He got out slowly. He looked smaller somehow, older. His face was gray with exhaustion. His eyes were red-rimmed. I was sitting on Ruth's porch in the rocking chair, the same one I'd been sitting in when I listened to all those voicemails. When he saw me, he stopped walking, just stood there in the parking lot, staring. Hi, I said softly. He made a sound, a gasp or a sob, and then he was running. Actually running. My 42-year-old son ran up the porch steps and fell to his knees in front of my chair and wrapped his arms around me and cried into my lap like he was 7 years old again. You're real, he kept saying. You're real, you're real, you're real. I ran my fingers through his hair. It was thinner than it used to be, going gray at the temples. When had that happened? When had I stopped noticing the details of my own son's life? I'm real, I whispered. He cried for a long time. I let him. Some things need to be washed out with tears. Finally, he sat back on his heels. His face was blotchy and wet. I've been so angry at you. For 3 days I've been angry and scared and worried and angry again. But now that you're here, He wiped his nose. I just feel grateful. Is that weird? No, I said. That's exactly what I needed you to feel. Gratitude. The kind you only feel when something's almost taken away. He stood up slowly, his knees cracking, sat in the chair beside mine. We rocked in silence for a minute.
2,
3. I need to tell you something, he said finally. Something I figured out last night. Okay. When Dad died, I was so focused on being strong for everyone. For you. For the kids. For Jennifer. I never actually grieved. I just kept moving.
kept working.
Kept scrolling through my phone to distract myself from the hole Dad left. I reached over and took his hand. His palm was calloused. Working man's hands. Harold's hands. And somewhere in all that distraction, Marcus continued, I stopped seeing you. Not because I didn't love you, but because looking at you meant facing what I lost. Dad's gone. And every time I really look at you, I remember that. So, I just didn't look. Oh, Marcus. The kids learned it from me. From Jennifer. We taught them that people are less important than screens. That discomfort should be avoided. That it's easier to swipe than to feel. He squeezed my hand. We taught them wrong, Mom. And you had to disappear to make us see it. I didn't know what else to do, I said. I tried talking. I tried being patient. But sometimes, love has to wear a scary mask to get someone's attention. Dad used to say that. I know. I'm quoting him. Marcus laughed. It was wet and broken but real. He'd be proud of you. Proud, and maybe a little terrified. He'd be proud of you too, for figuring it out. But I shouldn't have needed you to disappear to figure it out. That's the part that makes me hate myself. Don't, I said firmly. Don't hate yourself. Just do better. Starting now. We sat in silence again. A bird sang somewhere in the trees. The morning sun was warming the porch boards. "The kids want to see you," Marcus said. "They're in the truck." My heart jumped. I thought I said come alone. "I know. But Mom, they've been sleeping in our room. All three of them. Like when they were little and there was a thunderstorm. They're terrified. I couldn't leave them home. Please." I looked toward the parking lot. Sure enough, 3 faces were pressed against the truck windows. Watching. Waiting. "Okay," I said. "Okay." Marcus whistled. The truck doors flew open. They ran. All 3 of them. Emma got there first, her little legs pumping. She crashed into me so hard my chair rocked backward. "Grandma, you're alive. You're really, really alive." Then Tyler, who wasn't too cool anymore to hug his grandmother. He buried his face in my shoulder, and his whole body shook. Then Chloe, who wrapped her arms around all of us and said, "I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm sorry," over and over like a prayer. We stood there in a knot of arms and tears and relief. Jennifer hung back on the steps, crying quietly. "Group hug includes you too," I called to her. She shook her head. "I don't deserve." "Get over here, Jennifer." She came. We all held each other while Ruth watched from the doorway, smiling through her own tears. "I was so scared," Emma whispered. "I thought you died without saying goodbye." "I'm here, baby. I'm right here." "Don't leave again," Tyler said into my shoulder. "Please don't ever leave again." "I won't," I said. Then, quieter. "As long as you don't leave me either. Deal?" "Deal." We stayed there, holding each other, while the morning sun climbed higher and the world continued its spin and broken things began, slowly, to mend. The truck was different on the ride home. Different in ways that had nothing to do with the truck itself. Emma sat between Marcus and me in the front seat, her hand gripped tight in mine. She hadn't let go since the hug. Behind us, Tyler and Chloe had their phones in their pockets, not their hands. They stared out the windows instead. "Look," Emma said, pointing. "That's where we saw the deer last summer. Remember, Grandma? You were visiting and we went for a drive, and there were 3 of them." "I remember," I said. But I was surprised she did. "Tell me again about when Daddy was little," Emma said. "About when he fell in the pond." Marcus groaned. "Mom, don't." But I did. I told the story of 7-year-old Marcus chasing a frog and tumbling headfirst into the neighbor's koi pond. How he'd come up sputtering, covered in algae, with a fish in his shirt. Emma laughed. Real laughter. The kind that comes from the belly. "Tell another one," Tyler said from the back seat. So I did. I told about the time Marcus tried to run away, because I wouldn't let him get a snake. He made it 3 houses down before he realized he was hungry and came back. "You were going to run away over a snake?" Chloe asked. "It was a very cool snake," Marcus said defensively. "What was Grandpa like?" Tyler asked suddenly. "Like, really like. Not just the stuff I remember." The truck got quiet. Marcus's hands tightened on the steering wheel. "He was funny," I said slowly. "And stubborn. And he loved too much. That was his problem, really. He loved so much it hurt him. He loved your dad so much he worked 2 jobs to pay for college. Loved me so much he remembered my coffee order for 45 years. "What was your coffee order?" Chloe asked. I smiled. 2 sugars, heavy cream, a shot of vanilla, if they had it. "I didn't know that," Marcus said quietly. "I know. What else don't I know?" So I told them. I told them about how I wanted to be a teacher, but my parents couldn't afford to send me to college. How I met Harold at a bus stop in the rain. How Marcus was born 3 weeks early and Harold sang him, "You Are My Sunshine," every night for a year. How we almost divorced once when Marcus was 10, but didn't because Harold made me laugh so hard I forgot why I was angry. I told them about my dreams, my regrets, my favorite movie and my least favorite food, and what I thought about late at night when I couldn't sleep. They listened. Really listened. "I don't know any of this stuff," Jennifer said from the back. "Marcus, why don't we know any of this?" "Because we never asked," Marcus said. "We stopped for lunch at a diner halfway home. The kind with vinyl booths and a jukebox. Emma ordered pancakes. Tyler got a burger. Chloe ordered grilled cheese. Nobody touched their phones. Marcus asked me about my childhood. Jennifer asked about my friends. The kids asked questions that tumbled over each other. What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Like your grandpa's eyes. What's your favorite book? To Kill a Mockingbird. I've read it 17 times. Do you have dreams for yourself? Like, things you still want to do? That one made me pause. I want to see the ocean again. Your grandpa and I went once on our honeymoon. I'd like to go back. Put my feet in the water and say hello to him. We should go, Emma said. All of us. A family trip. Yeah, Tyler said. We should. Marcus was crying again. Quiet tears that ran down his face while he ate his French fries. We're going, he said. I don't care if I have to take off work. We're going to the ocean. All of us. On the way back to the truck, Emma spotted a payphone. The old-fashioned kind that barely existed anymore. Can we take a picture? She asked. All of us. With what? Marcus asked. Emma pulled out her phone, then stopped. Looked at me. Is it okay if I use my phone? Just for the picture? I want to remember today. Of course, sweetheart. We crowded around that payphone like it was a throne. Emma set the timer and ran to squeeze in. The phone clicked. Later, when I saw the photo, I would cry. Because we were all looking at the camera. All present. All there. All finally there. The family meeting happened that night, around the same kitchen table where this all began. But this time was different. This time, the table was clear. No phones. No tablets. No screens. Just faces. Marcus cleared his throat. Mom has something she wants to say. I folded my hands in front of me. Actually, I think you all have something to say. So I'm going to listen first. Emma went first. She had written something on notebook paper, her handwriting wobbly and careful. I'm sorry I watched videos instead of watching you. I'm sorry I didn't ask about your day. I'm sorry I said, when you talked, but I wasn't really listening. I want to be better. Tyler shifted in his seat. I don't have anything written. But, Grandma, I was a jerk. A huge jerk. And the thing that sucks is I didn't even notice. That's how checked out I was.
I'm sorry.
And I'm scared I'm going to forget again and go back to how things were. That's actually a really honest fear, I said gently. What do you think we should do about it? Chloe raised her hand like she was in school. I have an idea. What if we have rules? Like real rules that we all follow? What kind of rules? Jennifer asked. No phones at dinner. Ever. Not even for parents. Chloe looked at Marcus and Jennifer pointedly. No screens after 8 p.m. And every Sunday, we do something together. As a family. No excuses. And Tyler added, Grandma gets to pick what we do every other Sunday. Her choice. Even if it's boring. Even if it's feeding ducks. Feeding ducks isn't boring, I said. See? Tyler grinned. You already have ideas. Marcus pulled out his phone. We all tensed. He saw our faces and laughed. Wait. I'm not scrolling. Look. He opened his notes app and typed, Family rules. I'm writing them down. So we remember. One by one, they came up with rules.
Some were silly.
Some were serious. All of them mattered. One night a week. Everyone shares something real. Something they're scared of or happy about or struggling with. No phone games at red lights when the kids are in the car. Talk to them instead. Group chat stays open. But we share actual conversations, not just memes. When Grandma visits, her chair is her chair. We sit facing her, not our phones. We ask Grandma questions. Real questions. At least one per visit. Jennifer spoke up quietly. And we write things down. Stories. Memories. Before we forget them. Before it's too late. I felt my throat tighten. These are good rules. They're not just rules, Marcus said. They're promises. We broke our promises to you, without meaning to. So now we're making new ones. Ones we can actually see. He printed the list and put it on the refrigerator. Later, Emma would decorate it with drawings of ducks and hearts. Your turn, Grandma, Chloe said. What do you want from us? I thought about it. Really thought. I want you to tell me when I'm not needed anymore. Not in a mean way, but honest. Because here's what I realized while I was away. I was holding on too tight too. I was expecting you to be the grandchildren you were when you were little. But you're growing up. You're changing. And maybe some of that distance was because I wasn't changing with you. I took a breath and continued. I want to know about your lives now. Not just remember your lives then. Tyler, I don't know what you want to do after high school. Chloe, I don't know who your friends are or what makes you laugh. Emma, I still think of you as a baby, but you're not. You're 9. You have opinions and thoughts and a whole world I know nothing about. The kids looked at each other, surprised. So my rule is this. You teach me about your world, and I'll share mine. Real sharing. Both directions. Deal? Deal, they said together. Marcus was quiet for a moment, then spoke. I have one more rule. The most important one. We all looked at him. We tell each other we love each other. Out loud. Every time you leave. Every time we hang up the phone. Every night before bed. We say it. Because Dad died, and the last thing I said to him was, yeah, sounds good, when he asked if I wanted to grab lunch the next day. But the next day never came. And I never got to say it one more time. His voice broke completely. So we say it. Always. No matter how awkward it feels. No matter if we're mad or busy or distracted. We say it. Emma climbed into his lap, even though she was getting too big for it. I love you, Daddy. I love you too, baby girl. I love you, Marcus, Jennifer said, tears streaming down her face. I love you, Tyler said quietly. Love you, Chloe whispered. Marcus looked at me. I love you, Mom. I love you so much. And I'm sorry I ever made you doubt it. I love you too, son. We sat there, all of us crying, all of us together. The kitchen light hummed above us. The refrigerator kicked on. Normal sounds. But everything felt different. So what happens now? Emma asked, wiping her nose on her sleeve. Now, I said, we practice. We mess up. We forget sometimes. We pick up our phones when we shouldn't. But we forgive each other and try again. That's what families do. And you'll keep visiting? Emma's voice was small, scared. Every 3 months. Just like always. But this time, I know you'll be here when I arrive. Really here. Tyler stood up suddenly. I'm going to get something. Don't move. He ran upstairs. We heard drawers opening, things being shuffled. He came back down with a shoebox. I found this yesterday. When we were looking for, when we thought you were. He couldn't finish the sentence. Just look. Inside the box were things I'd forgotten I'd given them. Birthday cards I'd written over the years. Photos I'd sent. A newspaper clipping of Tyler's Little League team that I'd mailed to Marcus. A recipe card in my handwriting for those chocolate chip cookies. A dried flower from Emma's first ballet recital that I'd saved and given back to her. You kept all this? I whispered. We did, Chloe said. We just forgot we had it. We forgot a lot of things. But they were always there, Grandma. We always loved you. We just stopped showing it. I know, I said. I know, sweetheart. Marcus pulled out his phone one more time. Last phone thing tonight, I promise. But I want to do something. He opened his photos and started going through them. Hundreds of pictures. Thousands maybe. Look at this. This is from your last visit. I took maybe 50 photos that weekend. Of food. Of the sunset. Of stupid stuff. But look. He scrolled through them all. Not a single one had me in it. Now look at today. Today's photos were different. Me on Ruth's porch. The payphone picture. Lunch at the diner. My hands wrapped around a coffee cup. Me laughing at something Tyler said. You're in every single one, Marcus said. Because today I finally saw you. He created a new album right there. Named it Mom. Started moving photos into it. I'm going to fill this. Really fill it. And I'm going to look at it. Actually look at it. Not just take pictures and forget them. Can I make one too? Emma asked. A grandma album? Me too, said Chloe. Yeah, Tyler added. Me too. Jennifer stood up and walked to the junk drawer. She pulled out an old photo album, the kind with sticky pages and plastic covers. Or we could do it the old-fashioned way, like Margaret used to do. Print the photos. Write on them. Make something real. Both, Emma decided. Digital and real. Best of both worlds. It was nearly midnight when we finally broke up the meeting. But nobody wanted to leave. Nobody wanted to be the first to walk away. Finally, Marcus said, "Tomorrow's Sunday. First new rule day. Grandma, what do you want to do?" I smiled. "Feed the ducks."
Perfect, he said.
10 a.m. Everyone's coming. No excuses. No excuses, they echoed. As everyone headed toward their rooms, Emma turned back. "Grandma, will you sleep in my room tonight? Like a sleepover?" "I'd love that." We climbed the stairs together, her small hand in mine. Her room was an explosion of pink and purple and stuffed animals. She cleared a space on her bed for me. "Grandma," she said in the darkness, after we'd turned off the lights. "Yes, sweetie. I'm really, really glad you didn't die." "Me too, baby. Me too. Promise you won't do that again? Go away like that." I thought about it. About the 3 days of terror I'd put them through. About whether the lesson was worth the cost. "I promise I won't disappear," I said carefully. "But you have to promise something too. Promise that you won't make me invisible again."
Deal? Deal.
She was quiet for a moment. "What does invisible feel like?" "Like you're shouting but nobody can hear you. Like you're standing in a room full of people you love but you're completely alone." That sounds sad.
It was.
Very sad. "I won't let you be invisible anymore. I'll look at you every single day, and I'll see you. The real you."
Not just Grandma.
But Margaret. The person. My heart swelled so large I thought it might burst. "Thank you, Emma. I love you, Grandma." "I love you too, sweetheart." She fell asleep holding my hand. I stayed awake longer, listening to the house settle around me. Somewhere down the hall, Marcus and Jennifer were talking in low voices. Above me, Tyler's room was silent. Actually silent, not just quiet while he scrolled. Across the hall, Chloe's light clicked off. A family going to sleep. A family that had almost forgotten how to be a family. A family that was learning again. It wasn't perfect. It wouldn't be perfect tomorrow either. But it was something. It was a beginning. Sunday morning came soft and golden. I woke before Emma, carefully untangled my hand from hers, and crept downstairs. Marcus was already in the kitchen, making coffee. He saw me and immediately poured a cup. 2 sugars. Heavy cream. He'd gone to the store at 6 a.m. to buy vanilla syrup. "You remembered," I said, my voice thick. "I'm going to remember everything from now on," he said. "That's my new job." We sat at the table together, in the quiet before the house woke up. The letter I'd written, the one that started everything, was still on the counter. Marcus had framed it. "Why did you frame it?" I asked. "So we never forget what almost happened, what we almost lost." He sipped his coffee. "Sometimes I think about what would have happened if you hadn't done this. If you just kept coming every 3 months, getting more invisible, more lonely, until one day you stopped coming. Or one day you actually got sick and we hadn't been paying attention." "Don't think about that." "I have to. Because that was the road we were on, Mom. We were going to lose you slowly, piece by piece, and not even notice until you were gone." Jennifer came down next, then Tyler, then Chloe, then Emma last, rubbing sleep from her eyes. Nobody checked their phones. Not once. We made breakfast together. Pancakes and eggs and bacon. Too much food for 5 people, but we were celebrating something we couldn't quite name. Second chances, maybe.
Or first chances at getting it right.
At 9:30, we piled into the car. All of us. Emma brought the bread for the ducks. Tyler brought a camera, a real camera, not his phone. Chloe brought a notebook. "What's the notebook for?" I asked. "I'm going to write down the things you say today. So, I remember them exactly." "Is that weird?" "That's beautiful." The park was the same park it had always been. The same pond, the same ducks, the same benches. But we were different. Emma ran ahead, tearing bread into pieces. The ducks swarmed immediately, quacking and jostling. She laughed with her whole body. Tyler took photos. But not just random photos. Intentional ones. Me with Emma. Marcus with his arm around Jennifer. Chloe writing in her notebook. Moments that mattered. Grandma, Chloe said, sitting beside me on the bench, tell me about when you were my age. What were you like? So I told her. About being 13 and awkward and scared of everything. About my first crush and my first heartbreak and the teacher who told me I had a gift for words. Is that why you wanted to be a teacher?
Yes.
I wanted to help other kids find their gifts. You still could, Chloe said. It's not too late. You're only 65. That's not old. I laughed. Feels old sometimes. But it's not. Grandma, you could still do it. You could teach. Maybe not in a school, but I don't know. Something. Marcus had been listening. Mom, when's the last time you did something just for you? Not for me. Not for the kids. For you. I don't know. Maybe that's part of the problem too. We forgot about you, but maybe you forgot about you too. He wasn't wrong. Somewhere in the years of being a wife, a mother, a grandmother, I had lost Margaret. The woman who loved words and wanted to teach and dreamed in color. I want to take a writing class, I said suddenly. The words surprised even me. I want to write down all these stories.
About Dad. About you.
About us. So they don't disappear. Yes, Jennifer said. Do it. And when you write them, we'll read them. Really read them. Emma came running back, her shoes muddy, her face glowing. Grandma, the ducks remember us. I think they remember us. Maybe they do, baby. Come feed them with me.
So I did.
We stood at the edge of the pond, throwing bread, watching the ducks dive and squabble. Behind us, my family watched. Really watched. Phones in pockets. Eyes on us. Present. Tyler got one more photo. Me and Emma, laughing, with the ducks and the water and the morning sun turning everything gold. Later, he would print it large. Frame it. Put it in the living room where everyone could see it. The photo would become a reminder of the day things changed. The day a family remembered how to be a family. We stayed at the park for hours. Longer than we needed to. Nobody wanted it to end. When we finally left, Emma held my hand on one side and Chloe held the other. Next Sunday, Marcus said, it's the kids' turn to pick what we do. I want to go to the library, Chloe said. I want Grandma to help me find books like she used to. I want to cook something with you, Tyler said. Can you teach me to make your pot roast? I want to go back to Grandma's house, Emma said. I've never seen where you live. I want to see your stuff and your pictures and where Grandpa lived. Then that's what we'll do, I said. All of it. We have time now. We have so much time. But that wasn't quite true. None of us have as much time as we think. That was the lesson, really. Not that phones are bad or families are hard, but that time moves like water through our fingers. And the people we love won't always be here. And we have to choose every single day to see them while we can. That night, after dinner, a dinner where everyone talked and laughed and told stories, Marcus walked me to the guest room. Thank you, he said. For what? For loving us enough to break our hearts a little. For teaching us the hard way. For not giving up on us. I'll never give up on you. I know. That's why it worked. Because even when you disappeared, we knew, somewhere deep down, that you loved us. That you were trying to show us something important. He hugged me tight. I love you, Mom. I'll say it every day now. I promise. I love you too, son. After he left, I sat on the edge of the bed and looked at my phone. There was a new group chat. Marcus had named it Family, the real version. The messages were already flowing. Tyler. Grandma, I'm sending you the duck photos tomorrow. Chloe. Does anyone remember the name of Grandpa's favorite song? Emma. I'm drawing all of us at the park. It's going to be so good. Jennifer. Margaret, I signed you up for that writing class at the community center. First session is Thursday. I'm driving you. Marcus. Movie night next Friday. Grandma picks the movie. No arguments. I typed back. I love you all.
Thank you for today.
Thank you for every day from now on. 3 dots appeared immediately. From all of them. Messages pouring in. Love you, Grandma. Love you, Mom. Love you too, Red Heart. Love you, infinity. I set the phone down and looked out the window. The stars were bright. Harold would have loved this ending. Would have loved seeing our family find their way back to each other. We did it. I whispered to him, to the stars, to the night. They remembered. And tomorrow, we would keep remembering. Keep choosing each other. Keep looking up from our screens and into each other's faces. It wasn't perfect. Perfection isn't real. But it was better. So much better. And sometimes better is everything. 3 months later. I'm sitting in my chair again. The creaky one. But this time, when I look around the table, they're all looking back. Emma is telling a story about school. Everyone is listening. Actually listening. Chloe asks me to pass the potatoes and then asks how my writing class is going. Tyler shows me a photo he took, not from his phone, from his real camera, and asks if I think it's good. Marcus looks at me and smiles. Really smiles. The kind of smile that reaches all the way to the eyes. Jennifer raises her glass. To Margaret. For teaching us how to be a family again. To Grandma. They echo. Glasses raised. I raise mine too, fighting tears. To us. To second chances. To being present.
To being present, they repeat.
My phone buzzes. I ignore it. There will be time for phones later. Right now I'm here. Really here. And so is everyone else. Finally, we're all here together. And it only took disappearing to help them see me. But now that they see me, really see me, I'm never going to be invisible again. None of us are. Sometimes the people we love most forget we're still there, still breathing, still needing them. Sometimes we have to break their hearts to remind them that one day, we won't be there to break anymore. Love isn't always soft. Sometimes it wears a scary mask. Sometimes it has to hurt before it can heal. But when it heals, it's stronger than it ever was before.